The gym's strongest members loved to show off around the quiet janitor, flexing while he cleaned, making jokes about real workouts. Marcus never said anything, just kept mopping and organizing. Until one day, a cocky bodybuilder left his weights on the bar and walked away. 315 pounds. Marcus looked around, sighed, and casually cleaned it up by deadlifting it with perfect form. The entire gym went silent. Welcome to Hidden Legends. Before we dive into this story of hidden strength and earned respect, tell me in the comments what city you're watching from today, and if you believe the legends among us deserve recognition, hit that subscribe button. Marcus Rodriguez had been working at Ironworks Gym for 3 years, every morning at 5:30 a.m., every evening until 10:30 p.m. Cleaning, organizing, maintenance, he did everything perfectly, never complained, never arrived late. Members saw him as almost invisible, like a piece of furniture that happened to move around. At 42, Marcus was the quietest person in the gym. He kept his head down, avoided eye contact, did his job silently. Most members didn't even know his name. They just called him the cleaning guy, or that man. But Marcus's physique was noticeable. Muscles were visible under his maintenance uniform, his posture straight and solid. When moving heavy cleaning equipment alone, he never struggled. He lifted 50-kilogram detergent boxes like they were empty. Members noticed this but didn't think much about it. Maybe a former athlete, maybe a manual laborer. Nobody was deeply curious, because Marcus was just background, not part of the story. Marcus had his own routine. He'd arrive early in the morning, do his own workout first, then start cleaning. He'd stay late in the evening, working out again after everyone left. Nobody saw, nobody knew. Marcus Rodriguez had joined the Marine Corps at 18. Mexican immigrant family, tough neighborhood, limited opportunities. The military offered him discipline, purpose, and a chance for self-improvement. He'd stood out in basic training. His physical strength, mental toughness, and leadership ability caught attention. His instructors selected him for Elite Force Recon, the Marine Special Unit, the hardest missions, the most dangerous operations. Force Recon training was hell. Only the strongest, most determined, most resilient could finish. Marcus didn't just finish, he finished in the top 5. Water resistance, long-distance endurance, extreme physical conditioning. He was excellent in every area. His first deployment was Afghanistan. Reconnaissance missions, deep penetration operations, target acquisition. Marcus's specialty became heavy weapons and explosive ordnance. He could carry 50 kilograms of equipment on his back and walk for days. His second tour was Iraq. Urban warfare, building clearing, hostage rescue. Even more dangerous, even more intense. Marcus was now a team leader, commanding an elite 4-man unit. His third and final tour was near the Syria border. Black operations, classified missions. Marcus and his team were used for the most critical missions. They'd stayed in the combat zone for 6 months without ever returning to base camp. Those 6 months changed Marcus. His body became a weapon. His mindset became tactical. But the psychological cost of war was also heavy. PTSD, insomnia, readjustment problems to civilian life. He'd received an honorable discharge in 2015, Medal of Commendation, combat ribbons, exemplary service record. But the civilian world felt foreign to him. His first job was at a construction company. Physical work, team environment, clear objectives, close to Marine life. But problems started with the foreman. Marcus was trained to take orders, but civilian workers had a different understanding of hierarchy. He'd lost the job after 6 months. Second job was at a security company, third shift. Night shift, minimal interaction, clear protocols. But here too, he couldn't adapt. Civilian threats were different from military threats. Third job was at a warehouse, forklift operator, inventory management, but the monotony drove him crazy. Lack of adrenaline, absence of challenge, lack of purpose. In 2018, he'd lost his last job too. His resume was good, his references strong, but something always went wrong in interviews. Too intense, too serious, too military. Employers found Marcus different. After 6 months of unemployment, he'd applied to Ironworks Gym. Maintenance position, minimum wage, night shift available. Not ideal, but it provided the basic stability Marcus needed. And surprisingly, this job suited Marcus. The gym environment was familiar. Discipline and hard work were appreciated. Physical work provided stress release. And most importantly, he had access to equipment. Marcus was the invisible man at Ironworks Gym. Same routine every day. Arrive at 5:30, do his own workout, start cleaning at 7. Maintenance, repair, organization throughout the day. Final cleaning after the last member left at 10:30 p.m. Members barely noticed Marcus. He was like background noise, always there but never acknowledged. Some members were polite, saying good morning. Others completely ignored him. A few were actively rude. The most problematic group was the alpha male crew. A clique of 5 or 6 people, mostly bodybuilders and powerlifters. They acted like they owned the gym. They'd monopolize equipment, not clean up weights, mess up the locker room. Their leader was Brad Thompson, 28 years old, real estate agent, weekend warrior type. He had a genetically large frame but terrible technique. Ego lifting, poor form, constant flexing. He particularly targeted Marcus. "Hey, janitor boy," Brad would say, "make sure you clean around my area good. Real lifters need space." Marcus never responded, just kept working. Other members found Brad's behavior uncomfortable but didn't confront him. Gym politics were complicated. Nobody wanted drama. Marcus stoically accepted this treatment. He'd endured worse things, but internally, frustration was building. Not anger, but disappointment. He'd thought these people would respect strength and discipline. That Wednesday morning started normally. Marcus had arrived at 5:30, done his usual workout, deadlifts, squats, military press, old Marine routine. Perfect form, controlled reps, no noise. When he started cleaning at 7 a.m., Brad's crew had flooded into the gym. Back and bicep day, apparently. They claimed the main weight area, spread their gear everywhere. Marcus quietly worked around them, emptied trash, wiped down unused equipment, organized smaller weights. Brad's crew barely acknowledged him, occasionally making jokes. "Look at this guy," Brad said loudly. "Cleaning all day, probably never lifted a real weight in his life." "Probably thinks those cleaning buckets count as training," laughed another. Marcus kept working, head down, focus on task. But internal tension was rising. Around 11 a.m., Brad finished his deadlift set, 315 pounds, 3 plates per side. Respectable weight, though his form was questionable. Instead of cleaning up, Brad walked away, left the loaded bar right in the walkway. Gym etiquette rule number 1, always unload your weights. Everyone knew this. It was basic respect. Marcus waited. Maybe Brad forgot would come back. 5 minutes passed, 10 minutes. Brad was across the gym taking selfies. Other members had to walk around the loaded bar. An elderly gentleman struggled to navigate. A young woman looked intimidated. Clear safety hazard. Marcus approached the bar, 315 pounds. He'd deadlifted twice that in his Marine days, but that was years ago. And this wasn't about the weight. This was about respect. Marcus looked around. Brad's crew was watching, smirking. They expected him to struggle, to ask for help, to prove their point about real lifters. Marcus chalked his hands. Old habit from Marine days, set his feet hip-width apart, gripped the bar, mixed grip, secure hold. The gym gradually went quiet. Something in Marcus's posture, his preparation, indicated this wasn't going to be ordinary. Marcus took a deep breath, engaged his core, straight back, eyes forward, lifted. The 315 pounds came up smooth as silk. Perfect form, controlled movement, textbook deadlift. No struggle, no strain, no shaking, like he was lifting an empty bar. He held it at the top for 2 seconds, perfect lockout. Then controlled descent, weight touching the floor silently. The entire gym was dead silent. Marcus began unloading the plates, one by one, with the same calm efficiency he used for everything. 45-pound plates handled like they weighed nothing. Brad's mouth was hanging open. His crew looked stunned. The 315 they'd been bragging about, Marcus made it look like warm-up weight. "Holy shit," whispered someone. Marcus finished unloading, racked the empty bar properly, wiped down the area with his cleaning cloth, started to walk away. "Wait," Brad called out, voice completely different now. How did you—" Marcus stopped, turned around. For the first time in 3 years, made direct eye contact with Brad. "Equipment belongs in its proper place," Marcus said quietly. "Always." Word spread through the gym like wildfire. By afternoon, everyone had heard about the quiet janitor who casually deadlifted 315 like it was nothing. Members started paying attention. They noticed Marcus's build, his movement, his bearing. Details they had overlooked for 3 years suddenly became obvious. Tom Stevens, a former college football player, approached Marcus during his evening shift. "That was impressive this morning," Tom said. "Where'd you learn to lift like that?" "Experience," Marcus replied, continuing his work. "Military experience." Marcus paused. "Marines." "What unit?" "Force Recon." Tom's eyes widened. He knew what that meant. Elite special operations, among the best Marines ever produced. "How long?" 12 years, 3 combat tours. Jesus, and now you're working," Marcus finished. "Honest work." Word spread again. Force Recon Marine, combat veteran. Suddenly, everything made sense. The discipline, the strength, the quiet professionalism. Brad approached later that evening when the gym was nearly empty. "Hey, Marcus, right?" Brad was clearly uncomfortable. About this morning." "It's forgotten," Marcus said. "No, it's not. I was disrespectful. I didn't know." "You shouldn't need to know someone's background to show basic respect," Marcus said quietly. Brad flinched. The truth hurt. "You're right. I'm sorry, really." Marcus nodded. "Apology accepted." The gym's atmosphere changed overnight. Marcus was no longer invisible. Members nodded respectfully, said good morning, thanked him for his work. The alpha male crew disbanded. Some members, embarrassed by their previous behavior, started treating Marcus with obvious respect. Others just avoided him, uncomfortable with their own prejudices exposed. But the real change was in the newer members. They started asking Marcus for advice, form checks, workout suggestions, motivation. Marcus initially resisted. "I'm maintenance staff," he'd say. But Tom Stevens had an idea. He approached the gym owner, explained the situation. "You've got a Force Recon Marine working as a janitor," Tom said. "Do you realize what kind of knowledge and experience that represents?" The gym owner, Sarah Chen, was a smart businesswoman. She'd built ironworks from nothing, understood value when she saw it. The next week, Sarah made Marcus an offer, head of training staff with proper salary and benefits. He could keep his maintenance duties if he wanted. Many members had commented on how much cleaner and better organized the gym had become under his care. Marcus was hesitant. "I'm not certified as a trainer." "We'll get you certified, but certification doesn't teach what you know. That comes from experience, discipline, and character." Marcus accepted. 6 months later, Ironworks had a waiting list for personal training. Marcus's reputation had spread throughout the fitness community. Former Marine, real-world strength, no-nonsense approach. But he still came in early, still did maintenance work. Not because he had to, but because he understood. Respect isn't given, it's earned, and it's earned every single day through consistent action and character. A year later, Marcus had transformed not just his own life, but the entire culture of Ironworks Gym. The place became known for its respectful atmosphere, its focus on real fitness over ego, and its appreciation for people regardless of their background. Brad Thompson actually became one of Marcus's most dedicated students, learning proper form, understanding the difference between strength and showing off, developing real discipline. "I was a complete ass," Brad told Marcus one day. "You were young and insecure," Marcus replied. "We all were, once. Because that's what real legends do. They don't just demonstrate strength, they use it to lift others up." The 315-pound deadlift wasn't Marcus's greatest achievement that day. It was the choice to respond with grace instead of anger, to teach instead of punish, to build instead of destroy. So I ask you, have you ever misjudged someone like Marcus? Made surface-level assumptions, judged people without knowing their background or story? Share your honest moments in the comments. Because here at Hidden Legends, we know that real strength isn't in recognition. It's in character. If this story made you think, share it, subscribe, and help these important conversations continue. We'll see you in the next legend, and until then, remember, the person serving you might be the strongest person you'll ever meet. Respect is earned, but it should be given freely. Because you never know who you're really talking to.